Those are all additional training materials for your right. See the electrical solutions. There's no current people to see solutions. So whatever people put in resources, make sure we are able to meet up with our scheduled time. Completion time. And over that's where the roof company is going to be. There's another company over here. Yeah, I'm sorry, we'll cross.
I'm Tony Yekati, Assistant Director of Voice of Future. At most international airports, ample provision is made for parking and arrival and departure points. Anybody who has been to Lagos International Airport recently would know what passengers go through, what passengers waiting, people waiting to receive passengers. They are kept at a place that you can see for hours, and you hardly have sufficient parking. I want to know whether provision has been made for such facilities at this airport.
Please, let's take the questions.
Thank you very much, my President. I am Elkisu Abdurazak Turi Budenti. My question is for the representative of the Minister of Aviation. The Minister of Aviation actually signed a performance contract with the President that she was going to deliver some airports and the rest of the things that she added. Is this one of the airports that she signed performance agreement with the President?
Honorable Minister, sir, I'm Comrade Ego Adeni, representing the civil society. Sir, I want to know, this is a renovation project going on here now. It has been a cultural story and this is complete construction. I want to know if there is a particular framework on ground for the maintenance of this place and how is it going to be maintained in your explanation.
My name is Christian Kika, represent Nigerian Project Director, sir. I actually want to know, since the Minister is here, I know he will be happy to deliver to the Minister of Aviation and that we are facing in executing this project. Can you use the opportunity to tell us the challenges you are currently facing in executing this project? Now, secondly, you said you are working to deliver on schedule. When actually are you going to handle the project?
My question is to the contractor. I do not know the properties of your materials that you are using for the ceiling. Are they derivatives of petrochemicals? And if they are, it appears to me that those materials have been imported. How much patronage are you giving to local producers? Because when the tour team visited Leeway and Enugu, we saw the huge factory of project by Innocent. And Innocent produces a range of products, including, of course, vehicle bumpers. Why, if these are petrochemical derivatives, did you not patronize Innocent or other producers locally?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Engineer Ndika Okechuku, representing Interval Construction Limited. All the questions I'm not going to answer because they're not necessarily directed towards me, but then I'll try to take the ones that are directed towards me. One of the questions has to do with commission schedule. As you can see behind you, the terminal building is divided into phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is where you can see the current work ongoing. And so we have a schedule to deliver by April ending. And we are working assiduously with all necessary resources, machinery, equipment, personnel, working day and night, contingency plans to make sure that that is a reality. It's a privilege to have the honorable have information, and so we do not see these things carelessly. We are going to put in all resources, hopefully by the grace of God, to get to deliver as we have scheduled and as we have claimed openly here. It is for phase 1. Your other question has regards to the materials we are using. I want to make indulgence. Remember, we have a bill of quantities and there are specifications by the consultants. We are the implementators, we are the contractors. And so, being knowledgeable of the fact that yes, we want to enhance local content, we want to stimulate even the utilization of materials and production in Nigeria. I am a Nigerian and definitely I want to use made in Nigeria goods, but they have to be qualitative. And so my response to that is that in as much as we hope and try to implement that, even with regards to building or with regards to whatever works, the oil and gas industry, the road construction, it has to be guided by policy and the timing. You give yourself time to gradually. It's not just something you just want. You cannot just want because I want to patronize Nigerian goods, and today if you don't produce here, the quality is not up to standard, then you begin to use them. There's a phased approach towards that. But I'm happy to tell you, I do not think any of the materials here have at the right rating of petrochemicals. No, still in example, metal fittings with insulating panels. But yes, they were imported abroad. And the quality speaks for itself. So that's what I can answer. But it's also based on specifications. We're working in accordance with the quantities and specifications that were laid out for the contractors. I think the other questions answered by the representative of FANU. Thank you.
My name is D.A.J. President in the Regional General Manager Sales and Service. Now, the issue of parking, I want to assure you that adequate arrangements have been made for parking because we're expecting a multi-story car park and it's and so on the issue of 2,000 cars, that is multi-story car park. Now, on the issue of meters and greeters, that is now for the issues of the meters and companies, the airport to greet them. We have here, when we came to the concourse there, we have a very long concourse and decided we'll have a project for meters and greeters. On the issue of maintenance, that adequately taken care of because we are working as seriously with the contractor. All our maintenance teams are on ground. Every boat they fit, every extra part they fit, they are with them. So basically, within the handover, we are assuring that all the maintenance affairs are taken care of. We have that project.
Yes, last question. When we went to Calabar, we saw some industry that have air conditioning and some components of it at the Great Calabar trade zone. Are you people trying to relate with them in terms of the supply and supply and maintenance of all the air conditioning gadgets that we install in this kind of airport so that it will be local content of the product for this airport?
The air conditioner company is a Nigerian company. Basically, they are on ground for maintenance.
Now, one of the issues of federal government is that the distribution of the area. increase or safety, you know this will not. Because we had requests from airlines that want to come, they can't qualify well.
That's why I'm extending the April. Right? Currently now, we have a 250 meters and 120 meters. One on the left is going to be 120 meters and 120 meters. One on the right is going to be 120 meters and 120 meters. That will now be combined. Total cost of the project as signed, 777 million. 777
the national president of NUJ, my sister, the commissioner to River State, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This is a reconstruction of this airport in line with the president's thinking that as you travel around the world, you see airports are different from those ones in Nigeria. This is very, very sad. You see some of our airports, before now they look like country sheds. We approach it as if it's an old secondary school. Buildings are the same. Each time I went to the local airport in Ghana and Lagos, I wondered what kind of thinking, whether those people never traveled abroad to see how airports look like. So the president believes that our country deserves the best. And airports are the first entry point for people visiting any country. So for a long time, we had airports that were very suffocating. There is no space, there is no beauty, there is no aesthetics, nothing. Not easy to watch a living country in Africa should. But when you go to Joburg, there's an airport. You know, this is not rocket science. Even the international airport in Nairobi, when you go there, you go to Ethiopia, you see airports. And I think the time has come for us to begin to look at life differently. And so the president said he was going to reconstruct a number of our airports. 11 of them are taken in the first phase. Kano has been delivered, Benin has been delivered, Owerri has been delivered, Lagos domestic has been delivered, Owerri, as I said, has been delivered. So a number of those airports are already been delivered. Calabar, unfortunately, you went there when I was away. I hope you went. The Calabar International Airport is about the same level with this one now in terms of work going on. We went to Enugu, we saw the work that was going on there. So here we are in Port Harcourt, which is the oil and gas destination for Nigeria and indeed for the Gulf of Guinea. There is no better destination than Port Harcourt. And so what the president wants to achieve here is to take this airport to the next generation by recreating it completely. And you can see the huge work that is going on here. It's a lot of work that is going on. By the time this airport is completed, you will not recognize this place. You will come here, you will wonder whether you are still in Port Harcourt or maybe you have crossed over to London, to Heathrow. Now the purpose is simply that the Nigerian economy is growing. Our economy is growing, and I want Nigerians to understand that it is growing. And keep politics aside. Politics is one thing, reality must also be followed. The economy is growing. Private sector economy is growing. You went to the Onne Free Trade Zone and you heard the stories about what is happening there. All those people come here by air. The new 150 companies, people manufacturing ships, vessels, seagoing vessels, manufacturing pipes for the oil industry and several other things. So because of the growth in the economy, we believe we should give our airports the next phase so that it will support business. That is what we are doing here. Let me commend Mr. President for this vision. And 11 of those airports will be delivered this year. All of them will be delivered this year. And then phase 2 will start in earnest. Already the cargo airports, which we have about 12 or so, which we have introduced They are also gradually taking off. In some places, job has started. Now, the purpose of cargo airports is to make it easier for people to export. Because of the new agricultural policy, we need to have airports that can export goods easily out of Nigeria. Port Harcourt is one of the destinations. Asaba is one of them. Enugu, Jos, Makurdi, several other airports, including Lagos. So we are seeing a new thing in aviation, completely new, that has never happened in this country before. The new airport reconstruction program is new. But other than the structural changes, we are also replacing navigation equipment altogether. Like I said, today, any flying object into Nigeria, the moment you enter Nigerian boundary, will pick you up on radar. We now have 100% coverage of Nigeria airspace. That has been achieved by the president. There is no way you fly into Nigeria now, you will not be seen. Whichever angle, whether it's from Maiduguri or Atlantic Ocean or any angle, the moment you're in Nigerian airspace, you will be on radar. That makes it easier for controlling emergencies, because you can see the flying object and monitor it and guide it, to safety. So that is being done. There are other navigational, equipment. I'm sure you see this one now. That has been retooled. This has been retooled. When we went to Owerri, they told you that a plane could be guided from here. Any plane landing here, they can also control it from Owerri if there is any emergency here. So that has been. This one, limit. Exactly. So these are all new equipment that have been installed to make safety easier. The other point was also so that presently, in terms of weather report, meteorological coverage, any plane taking off in Nigeria will automatically know the state of weather in the next airport. So there is no pilot that will take off from Port Harcourt going to Abuja and claim that when he took off he didn't know the weather condition in Lagos. No. This is clearly possible now. So we have a lot of changes that are taking place. The president also wants to help private airlines acquire new planes that can give aviation additional vigor. That is already being worked out between the Ministry of Aviation and, of course, the various companies and financing agencies. So this is a wholesale transformation program that we are seeing in the aviation sector. So the Port Harcourt Airport is one of the key airports in the country. Apart from Lagos and Abuja, I don't think of any airport that is busier than Port Harcourt. Although Enugu now is going to compete with Port Harcourt, by the time we finish Enugu, it's not going to be easy for Port Harcourt also, which is good because we want competition. So we will continue to work on this airport. This year, definitely, this will be delivered. We are worried about the pace of work here. We are worried because each time I've traveled through Port Harcourt severally in the last couple of months, and I do not see the intensity of construction. I don't see the intensity of activity at the construction site. This should now be different. I don't know why, because we ought to have delivered at the same time with Lagos and Kano, but I'm not comfortable.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Once again, I want to say it's a privilege to have you here. And I'm not debating, but I also want to applaud your charisma. I know you've gone on tours into other states. There was a question that was asked. In a way, I don't want to say I avoided it, but yes, there are challenges, Honorable Minister. There are challenges with regards to the bill of quantities we had, scoping in the bill, and a lot of issues. But it's not here to give excuses. We've been honored to have visitations from the MD of FAN. He was here 2 days ago, and he had visited previously. But be that as it may, a lot of progress has been done, even on the cladding and all that. And like I mentioned to you, we are putting in every contingent effort and resource to abide by the timeline we're giving to you.
When was the original timeline?
The original timeline was in December.
Exactly.
In December. That is true. That is true. But like I said, it's not. This may not be an appropriate forum to begin to talk about those other issues.
This is an appropriate forum. That's why it's a democracy tour. I am not very comfortable with the changes. And you are not the only construction company at site. Other people have delivered. This idea of quantities changing only after the contract has been awarded. usually not a very comfortable story. What's important is each time I came into this airport, I see human suffering. People are staying in temporary shelters, and I've been there myself, so I can see the pressure that people are going through. So please, whatever it is, this April must be the end of the extension. We don't want to come back here in April and you're telling us stories. The Nigerians are very anxious to use this airport. So please, whatever it is, it has to be concluded. And the contractors also should have capacity to absorb minor changes in the course of construction. To absorb them, you know, and when you absorb, you can discuss. But when things don't work, nobody is ready to listen to you. But if activities are going on, then your clients will be very happy to talk to you because they have seen the effort you are making. But when we come here, we see one or two people, there is nothing going on, and nobody will be happy.
But I beg your pardon, sir. I beg your pardon.
Yes.
Today is a Sunday. Today is a Sunday. If you have been here, like I said, it's not to give excuses. The MD was here. The MD of France was here some days ago.
I've also been here some days ago, and I'm saying that we need to see more activity. We need to see more activity. Please, we need to see more activity. Please, more activity. I would like to commend my colleague, the Minister of Aviation, because the passion she brought into aviation is something else. She's one woman that is an example of what we can get when we give women more opportunity. So we continue to applaud her for her vision, her new vision for aviation industry in Nigeria, and she is a demonstration of the need of the confidence the President has given to women in the Federal Executive Council. She's not alone. All of them are doing very well, but she has brought some physical changes that everybody can see. You know, the impact is very magnificent. We're happy. Don't disappoint her, don't disappoint us. Just get that by April so that we can use this effort. Thank you very much.
I want to say thank you, Honorable Minister, on behalf of Nukoye, the Regional General Manager, Service, my Managing Director, George Racing. Thank you, Mr. And we hope that